sitting back at home. Got the whole yard cut up that you saw there. And I'm sitting here the next day and I'm kind of thinking like how crazy this situation is compared to what it would have been 8 years ago. So just to paint the picture, today's Friday and somehow I'm home at like 6 o'clock, totally caught up. And the reason I say that is because Monday morning, my employee let me know he's not going to come to work. I was like, okay, whatever. So I decided that morning to work in the yard, worked for about 4 hours here at my house, because there's stuff that I can't do, like it just piles up. So I was like, I have to do it. Today's the day. And so I went and spent about 4 hours out here on Monday and got things cleaned up at my own house, just to kind of force it, because it would never get done if I didn't. As soon as I leave about 11 that morning, I drive my 20 minutes to my first yard. It starts pouring rain, just pouring. So I was like, well, crap. So I only got like 5-6 yards done that day. And Tuesday I go back out and start mowing, and I just noticed the V-Rod's not doing well. It's the 48 V-Rod, 22 horsepower engine, and it's just not cutting well. And the video you saw before this one of me clanking the spindles, every single spindle's going bad. And the pulley, the tensioner pulley is just seized. Like it just doesn't want to go. Like it'll roll like a little bit, but it'll go like, and it needs to go wing, 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 like that. The one, again, if you go back to the video, the one pulley that is good, that's how that one should be doing too. So basically the entire deck on that V-Rod is failing. Wonderful. Got 230 hours on it. And yes, I grease it, and yes, I do all the yes, I'm on top of my maintenance. I've put 1,300 hours on 2 older mowers, and not really had any issues with spindles and stuff like that. So I'm pretty well on top of my maintenance. Well, I say that, but I went to go get my spare John Deere, the one that I replaced. I bought the V-Ride to replace the John Deere. And at the time, there wasn't really anything wrong with the John Deere, but I used the John Deere to finish off Tuesday afternoon. So half of Tuesday, and then halfway through Wednesday, the deer starts sputtering, which that's why I bought the V-Ride, is because the deer was a ticking time bomb. It had 1,300 hours on it, and like eventually like that was gonna happen, right? But it's like crap. It happened as the brand new V-Ride went down. So I was like, God dang it. So I went and got my backup to my backup, which is the walk behind mower that you see me mowing everything with. And you know, man, I was kind of frustrated. Just because like it's one of those things that all these mowers are going down all at once. My employee's out, it's raining. It's like I'm imagining just being behind all week, right? On Wednesday. Because now not only have I made one trip back home to get a spare mower, I had to make another trip back home to get another spare mower. It's like, dude, why didn't I just bring both mowers? Why did I do that? But either way, all of this is to say, I had a backup to my backup, and it did the job, dude. And the cut quality is amazing. Like I compare it to the V-Ride 2, and it's just flawless. Like it's so good. Obviously standing on the sulky platform, and the controls on the Swizzit, that's what I call it, the walk behind, are very uncomfortable. Like my hands are locked up after using that thing for the last 3 days. But like it got the job done. And again, yesterday when I shot that video of that big yard, that was like my last yard of the day, and it was 4:30, and I'm sitting there like, wait a minute, I just had all this stuff go down. It's raining, my employee's gone, my mowers are breaking down, I've made multiple trips of not doing anything, and I'm still going to be done by 5. and totally on schedule, and none of my customers are aware that my employee's gone and my mowers are broken, and their yards look great. And it's all because, like, I'm sitting there thinking like that, thinking about that stuff, and I'm like, well, yeah, dude, this is what you work for, right? And I thought about, well, like, how much worse could it get? And I was like, well, if the backup to the backup, the walk behind goes down, well, I've still got the daggum 36-inch deer stander, and it's like, if I have to, darn it, I'm going to go get the 36-inch, and we're going to mow these big giant things with that small mower. It's going to take a while, but, like, it'll get done, and it'll look good, because I've got the backup to the backup to the back. And then I was like, wait a minute, what if the truck goes down? I've got a spare truck. Like, I'm good, And let's say it gets a little bit worse. I've got cash on hand to go buy another freaking walk behind. They're like $7,500, And then, so I've got cash on hand to go buy another one and still have a little bit to pay bills, right? And be good, because I've got that buffer of savings cash. Yeah, and I don't know, it took me a minute to kind of go through all that, and it just made me realize, like, dude, this is what I've been working for so many years. I'm 10 years into this thing, right? And I always kind of have this thought, because I don't have constant reminders like a week like this, where things are just bad and crap's hitting the fan. I don't always have these constant reminders, but, like, dude, like, I'm good. I'm set. Like, things are not, like, the smoothest, and it's not the most comfortable thing to walk behind all the time. But, like, everyone's caught up. No one even knows that I'm having issues. And realistically, it's just, like, little temporary hiccups. But I was just feeling grateful, and, like, dude, this is what I've worked for, right? And it's a weird thing for me personally, because it's like, I'm always kind of harsh on myself, and it's a weird thing for me personally to sit here and say, like, dude, I deserve this. I deserve to be in a position where bills are paid, lawns are caught up, even in the crazy situations of the week. like I've totally worked through this to this point and built up, and I've been through this similar situation where everything breaks down and it was miserable. I've been through that enough up to this point that I'm finally to a point where I can actually, like, withstand that little bump, that little hurdle. And it's just weird. It's just weird for me to think about that, because, again, probably 8 years ago, maybe 7 years ago, whenever it was, I was in this very similar situation, but I only had the one mower, the Z2. And the pulley seized up on it, and it was on back order, even though it was a brand new machine, and I couldn't get the pulley. It wasn't a spindle, it was a pulley, and it just ruined the whole deck. And they didn't have it for 2 months, and I had to ride a John Deere, like, lawn tractor. I went out and bought a used one for like $800, and it was miserable, and everything looked horrible. And somehow I didn't, like, lose all my customers. I was like, listen, I'm sorry. And meanwhile, I'm still paying on that piece of crap Ferris that nobody can help me fix. Like, so that was 8 years ago, and it was probably one of the most miserable times. Like, I don't know what's wrong in my brain that I kept doing this, but I did. And I'm glad now, right? Because, like, I got the house, married, just had a baby, and, like, everything's just good, right? I finally get to a point where I'm hiring employees consistently. Like, see, honestly, in my brain right now, figuring out the employee situation and trying to find good help is more frustrating to me and more stressful to me than having the mower break down. You know what I mean? And it's just like a weird, different perspective. And I can definitely see, like, sitting here in my privileged position, and that's the weird thing too, is to call it privilege. Like, oh, I'm so privileged, and I am, but, like, I deserve to be in the position that I'm in, because I have suffered through it. You know, like even before the business, like, dude, my home life was not good. You know, 11 years ago, before I began the mowing business, my life at home was horrible, and it sucked. And I had probably less than nothing, because I had, you know, a lot of debt. So, like, call it privilege, but I deserve to be caught up. And it's weird for me to think about too, but I don't know. I'm feeling thankful, and I'm just kind of reminiscing on video, and just kind of sharing, like, because I know there's other guys out there in similar situations, and you know, just be aware. It does get worth it. I always hate these guys that, like, get on here and try to motivate with, like, weird emotional manipulation, but it's like, I don't know, I'm having a real moment with myself, right? And I just, like, maybe someone else can get something out of it and just see, like, dude, it's worth it. Like, you want to talk about coming from nothing? I genuinely started push mowing lawns with extension cords for battery powered handheld equipment out of the back of a Toyota Celica hatchback, running like thousands of feet of extension cord. And then I paid cash for a truck, and then I paid cash for a 30-inch walk behind. And so, like, I've actually literally gone through these steps, and, like, dude, I know exactly where some of you guys have been. And if you're smart and you plan well, you do get through that stuff, you know. And I see all these guys giving this advice on YouTube, and a lot of it is so bad. Like, you don't need certain things, and if you can avoid the shiny objects in the distance, like the most expensive zero turn possible and the most expensive truck possible, if you can avoid that and make it work with the absolute cheapest equipment early on, like, you can get to a point where, like I've got a brand new truck, okay? And here's the deal. Even today, that truck, that 22 Silverado, I spend less per month on that brand new truck. I had 9,000 miles on it when I got it. I spend less per month on that truck than I spent on my 2010 Ram. And that's the kind of stuff that, like, you have to be smart with how you spend stuff. And, like, that's the kind of stuff that I say, like, I deserve where I'm at, because I stuck it out with that old Ram with no AC for like 3 years. Okay, and then I spent, before I bought this truck, 6 months looking, and I didn't settle on just any old truck, because I fully expected to be in like a used 120 mile whatever truck, but I got real fortunate that I was patient, and this truck popped up, and it's been great so far. It's got 32,000 miles on it now. I put that many, you know, I got it 9,000, so you do the math. That's how much I drive in a year. It's too much, if you're wondering. But I don't know. I'm rambling at this point. Just a quick video to say, like, I'm obviously grateful for my position, even though my equipment's broken down, and it's a weird spot for me, just because I'm not used to feeling like I actually deserve a lot of this stuff, because I'm really hard on myself. And I know a lot of you other people watching might be too, and I know you're going to be, a lot of you are in similar positions, but dude, like, stick it out. There's light at the end of the tunnel. There you go. Have a good day, man. Thanks for watching this long rant.